Good morning, everybody, and welcome to what could possibly be, maybe, our last Halloween Horror Nights construction update. Not our last Halloween Horror Nights video, but maybe our last construction update. It just depends on what's added between now and Friday. But I'm going to start off here out front. As you can see, the medallion and the signage is up around the archway, so I'll quick show you guys that. And then we'll get going here, make our usual lap around the park and see what else is going on. All right, so normally Barry and myself, we kind of do a counterclockwise video with our updates. We kind of go through Hollywood, then around the Simpsons and around through San Francisco, through New York, but I'm gonna do it backwards today. I'm gonna start right here in the Horrors of Halloween scare zone, because look what's back. Sun's kind of bright. The Halloween Horror Nights signage is installed in the Horrors of Halloween scare zone, so let's go check that out. Better look at the archway with this newly installed Halloween Horror Nights signage. I'm so glad they brought this sign back. This sign has such a history with Halloween Horror Nights, many years. It's been on display. It came back last year for $30, and I'm so glad they bought it back this year. It just looks absolutely fantastic, lit up at night with the red letters. And it'll look really cool this year with all these pumpkins and everything. I'm really excited to see this scare zone all lit up. As far as the rest of the Horrors of Halloween scare zone, we've got some more props up. These look like nods to some of the other scare zones, I believe. Let's take a walk underneath the archway here. Got a Scarecrow over here. So yeah, this scare zone is gonna be really cool looking with all the pumpkins. Not much over here on the opposite side. But for those of you wanting to see where Little Boo is, I haven't seen him yet myself. There he is, right up there. He's right there. So kind of in the middle, kind of in the front, 1, 2, where this camo netting is, right there in the middle. So, that's about it for this scare zone. Looks like there's some more decorations over there for the Sweet Revenge scare zone as well. Speaking of, that's where we're going to be heading to next, so let's go check out that scare zone. It has arrived. The massive collection of barricades for the soundstage houses up here have arrived. Is your body ready? It is here. Alrighty, we're over here in the New York section checking out the Sweet Revenge scare zone. And I don't think a whole lot has been added since our last video update, but I'll take a stroll through anyways and see if I can point out anything that's been added. Here's a look at the tribute store facade, which is coming along nicely. For those of you that listen to the official Universal Orlando podcast, they got some really cool episodes that they've been dropping behind. They're like little 10-ish minutes stories of their original creations, the houses and the scare zones. It's called the Discover Universal Podcast. Give it a listen. The most recent one they dropped is the backstory behind the Sweet Revenge scare zone, and they talk about kind of the story behind the tribute store movie theater, the tribute movie theater, and it's a really cool listen. So be sure to give it a listen. Here's a look at the signage over here. And I'll probably do a quick little update on this at the end of the video, but here's the Dead Coconut Club, which is a thing over in CityWalk. And like I said, I'll see if I can get a few clips of that and post it to the end of this video. So be sure to stay tuned towards the end for that. So, all right, let's keep moving on. Pretty much all of the food booths are up with the menus. I'm not gonna spend much time on this video going over the menus. If you guys wanna check out the menus, be sure to go to our HHN 31 Ultimate Thrill Guide. You can go to that by simply going to thrillgeek.com/HHN. I've actually been updating it with menus and photos of the menus as we go. So, but here's a look at the food booths really quick. And here's a look at the really cool Meetz Locker, obviously themed after Meetz. Again, we have the full menu up on our guide if you guys want to check that out. thrillgeek.com/HHN. You can go there and take a look at the menu. But basically, they're going to have like Rice Rice Krispie treats that look like body parts and ground up meat and all sorts of really gory, fantastic stuff. So let's actually take a walk through and see what's been added here. I don't think much. They got a new display case out. Looks like, I'm guessing this is where they normally, this looks like the gummy. So I'm guessing they do have like a, let me see. Yeah, the beating heart gummy. So I'm guessing that's where that's gonna be displayed. And they got the usual meats out here on display. And they got big old sections of meat hanging up here. So other than that, and they do have another beverage container server down here, serving up the Bloody Mary specialty cocktail. And that is about it. And it looks like it's gonna be one way in, one way out, so they don't have crowds coming in here because they have a do not enter sign up right here. Now, not only do they have the food tents up, but the food trucks that you see throughout studios will also be returning with a Halloween Horror Nights spooky themed menu. This one right outside Fast and Furious Supercharged, I believe, will have kind of the mac and cheese. Yeah, they're gonna have the mac and cheese bowls, which again, you can check out on our guide, thrillgeek.com/HHN, to look at that menu. All right, next we're gonna be heading into the Conjure the Dark scare zone, which it looks like, for those of you that were here at HHN 30, they've installed these giant tree kind of root structures, which were part of Gorewood Forest scare zone last year. They're little boo holes for characters to go in. So it looks like those have made their return. There's another one over here. This scare zone's actually looking really good. San Francisco is one of the areas that it seems like they kind of have a hard time figuring out a scare zone because it's such a tight squeeze kind of through this area. And here's a look at the giant stage. It looks like we have a prop installed right here. It's covered up. Guessing it's going to be some sort of victim or bloodied corpse. Usually when it's covered up with a tarp, that means it's gory and disgusting. So, but yeah, this stage is looking really cool. I can't wait to see what goes on up here during the event. It should be pretty cool. Other than that, looks like they got a lot more details installed, kind of some of these trees. And they have skulls and stuff installed over here. And another one of the Gorewood Forest boo holes over there. And that seems about it for this scare zone. Next, we'll head over and probably check out the Scarecrow zone. So let's go check that out. And it looks like the Chucky Photo Op is making its return this year, as well as they have it set up here right in the same spot as it was last year, kind of across from Fear Factor stage, right here next to the giant pumpkin food booth. So yeah, if you missed out on the Chucky Photo Op, it looks like it's coming back this year. Alrighty, and once again, as confirmed, this is a Chucky food booth over here across from Animal Actors on location. So we have the menu for that one up. And it's 1, 2, 3 food booths over here before you head into Kid Zone. This is going to be your Twisted Taters food booth, which we also have the menu up for. And then over here, these 2 food booths, which I believe this is going to be a bar, because these are kind of the generic bar structures. And this one over here is going to have a really cool Mummy's Curse tablet cookie, which looks really cool. And then they're gonna have a garlic Philly cheese quote steak. And then I think over here is just the drink menu. Yeah. Tinseltown Terror. Again, we have all these menus up on our website, on our HHN Ultimate Thrill Guide. So be sure to check that out, thrillgeek.com/HHN. Alrighty, I had to kind of walk through the scare zone to film it because it felt kind of weird walking through it backwards. But we are now in the Scarecrow Cursed Soil scare zone. So we're gonna go through and check it out. A lot has been added. We're here up at the beginning where they added a giant windmill to the entrance area here. And this kind of old Plymouth truck. Looks like there's a trigger right there. So it looks like some kind of scare will happen here near this truck. I don't know if we're going to get a roof structure for this barn, because the trees are pretty low, but there is some sort of piece to where it looks like maybe they're just gonna go straight across with the roof with wood or something. I don't know. But they've added more to the sides here to give it more, because this is supposed to be a barn structure. Because basically this is sort of like a sequel to Scarecrow the Reaping, and now you're kind of out in the barn area. But more has been added to the sides here of the barn and stuff. So let's go see what else we can find. Scarecrow is really cool looking. He's got some utensils hanging from his arms, some metal cans. It's really cool looking. I like the design. But he's fairly new. And as far as the rest of the scare zone goes, they got a boo hole over here. It almost looks like an outhouse. This effect is really cool. I'm not going to touch it because I'm one where I don't touch the props. I follow the rules. But this was in the, I forgot what house it was in last year, but it was in one of the houses. And it looks like wood paneling, but it's not. As you can see, it's almost like a fabric, and it's such a good scare tactic. It works so well. I'm so glad that they're kind of using this again. So, all right, let's keep on going really quick. I'll kind of walk through the rest of the scare zone here. Looks like they got another little outhouse, little boo hole right here. They got a wagon over here. Another little looks like the little boo holes are like outhouses or little storage areas. There's one more right here. And that's about it for this scare zone. So next we're gonna head over to Hollywood and see what's going on over there, and then probably get on out of here. So let's get going. Here's a quick look at the Ghoulish, a Halloween Tale nighttime show that'll be happening at Halloween Horror Nights this year on the lagoon, with the with the water screens and the lasers and the lights and all that. So yeah, cool looking little record sign, and the times for the show are still covered up, but as soon as we get those, we'll add them to our guide. Alrighty, before we get on out of here, we're gonna take a stroll through a Graveyard Deadly Unrest scare zone here in Hollywood. I'm kind of walking through this one backwards because it's everything's kind of off to the side. I don't know if they're gonna move some more of these things kind of in the middle to make it more obstructed, or they're gonna kind of keep everything off to the... Oh, I noticed they removed the big gates. There were some big gates out here. I believe there was one attached to this piece, and I just noticed this. Here's some boo holes. And I know there was a gate attached to some of these. Or no, they're still here. Never mind, I lied. But here's a look at some of the more. Here's another look at another boo hole. Again, this scare zone, all the scare zones are looking really, really good this year. And this archway's received a lot more theming, a lot more vines, and she looks really sad. But lots of plant work has been added, lots of vines. And here's a look at this gate over here. Again, lots of branches and lots of decorative pieces have been added to this zone. Here's another archway, boo hole. This scare's gonna look really cool once all the fog is rocking and rolling and all the scare actors are out here. I'm really excited. I'm excited to see all the zones in action this year because they all look so good. And here's a look at this little decorative kind of archway. And here's another look at the big gate up here. That is the entrance into the Nettlewoods Cemetery. So that's it for this scare zone. I think now, I don't know where we're gonna go, but stay tuned. It'll be after this clip. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna head on out, but first, like I said earlier in this video when I was looking at the tribute store, I'm gonna show you guys the signage for the Dead Coconut Club, which is just up here in the former Red Coconut Club location. So let's go check it out. Alrighty, so here's a look at the Dead Coconut Club sign that has been installed outside the Red Coconut Club. You see Frankenstein, creature from the Black Lagoon. Over here you got Dracula, a mummy, and a creature from the Black Lagoon again. And I think there's more over here on this side. There's that sign. Frankenstein, monster, creature from the Black Lagoon again. Right, a Frankenstein Wolfman over here. Kind of a tiki looking vibe to him. So I'm wondering if this is gonna be kind of like a tiki themed bar. Universal hasn't announced any details on it yet, so maybe we'll get some soon now that we're seeing signs and banners put out for it. As always, we will bring you any information that Universal announces on it. So stay tuned to all of our socials. Alrighty guys, that's it here from Universal Orlando Resort and our 4th, 5th, I don't even know what number this is, Halloween Horror Nights 2022, HHN 31, whatever you want to call it, update. This is it. We got under 1 week to go before the event kicks off. We will be here opening night, bringing you guys coverage from every aspect, the houses, the scare zones, everything. So make sure you're following ThrillGeek on all of our social media channels, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and just make sure you're following us everywhere. Right here on YouTube, like I said, this may be our final construction update. I don't know what else is going to be put out from here up until the event starts on Friday. But this is not our last Halloween Horror Nights video. We have a lot more content coming as the event kicks off here in 6 days. So anyways, guys, right here on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have that bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of our Halloween Horror Nights 2022 videos. Again, I thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys. Be safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.